He's making nice with the police state that is Cuba. He's making nice with the Islamo-Nazis in Tehran, the police state that is Iran. The deadline is passed for a deal, quote unquote. It was supposed to be yesterday. But there are no deadlines and red lines when it comes to Obama and Kerry, the two great appeasers who are surrendering America's security and our allies' security to the Islamo-Nazi regime in Iran. They're building ICBMs, they're building nukes. But don't worry, this is what change looks like, right, Obama? Now, this deadline was supposed to be hard and fast. How do we know this? Because Jeff Ratke and Marie Harf, State Department spokesidiots, said so time and again. Here's our montage. Cut 8, go.
We're not contemplating an extension beyond June 30th. Again, we're united among the P5+1 that our efforts are to reach a final deal by the end of June.
He and the entire team are absolutely committed to the same timetable and are working toward June 30th as the deadline for these talks.
With respect to the June 30th end of the Iran nuclear talks, we remain committed to that. We believe it's achievable. We're focused on June 30th as a deadline. We remain of the view that it's possible to conclude the talks by June 30th. Again, we remain of the view that the June 30th is achievable.
What's with all the Kennedys? Well, of course, the deadline has gone. Today, I believe, is July 1st in most of the world. Tomorrow will be July 2nd, and so forth and so on. So what's happening here? Well, what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Obama administration is caving in every direction, but they want to position themselves to make it look like they're not going to cave. Our good friend Daniel Horowitz at the great website conservativereview.com, where there's wonderful commentary there, and you really need to check it out. He says there's 10 things you should know about the so-called preliminary Iran deal. 1. Iran can keep 5,000 advanced centrifuges spinning into perpetuity. Not only will Iran keep its entire nuclear infrastructure, some Iranian sources are reporting that Iran's top leaders are promising to utilize the fastest centrifuges the day after the final agreement is signed. In fact, the use of advanced centrifuges is explicitly permitted, according to a fact sheet of the framework, the one drafted by the French. Number 2, Iran's Islamo-Nazi president, my phraseology, of course, is demanding that any agreement, even to Iran's version of the framework, will not be signed unless all sanctions are lifted on the day the deal is signed. In which case, tens of billions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, will flow into that terrorist regime. And no doubt put to good purposes. Number 3, as if on cue, the Russians are already selling to Iran S-300 anti-missile rocket systems in exchange for 500,000 barrels of oil. This makes it crystal clear. Russia will never agree to reinstate sanctions on Iran if they cheat on the agreement. Obama doesn't have the first say or the last say. Number 4, Iran has never come clean about their covert operation, and now the P5+1 nations are dropping demands that Iran disclose its past research. Now, the publicly discovered nuclear sites are irrelevant because Iran has hidden the ball. They have hidden sites. Number 5, even with regards to their known nuclear installations, Israeli sources are reporting the P5+1 nations have agreed not to push for inspections of those sites. This alone renders the entire agreement a complete farce. It's a farce. But then again, farce and Obama, they're synonyms. Number 6, synonyms. No, that's not a Danish, synonyms. According to one report, the countries that will be responsible for policing Iran's violations of sanctions are China, Russia, and Iran itself. Number 7, not only has Obama capitulated on the demand that Iran destroy its existing nuclear stockpile, as Iran's foreign minister has flatly rejected that condition, a new report by the International Atomic Energy Agency reveals Iran's nuclear fuel stockpiles expanded by 20% since negotiations began in November 2013. Number 8, Iran knows they don't have to agree to any significant concession because the sanctions have already been ignored across the board by the West. Iran is already boasting about record oil exports. Number 9, needless to say, Iran is continuing to build their ballistic missile program and expand their terrorism and regional hegemony. None of this was even a part of the negotiations from day one. For months, Obama and his surrogates swore that the sanctions targeting Iran's terror, human rights abuses, and its ballistic missile program would remain in place. But last month, the AP reported all the sanctions will collapse once the nuclear sanctions are removed. The next president, my God, can you imagine what they're going to have to deal with? That's why this Hillary Clinton thing, she's such a fraud and a loser, and she's so pathetic. For God's sakes, America, can't we do better than this? And number 10, if you thought this deal was a joke, you're not missing anything. The Associated Press has reported that Obama has agreed to help Iran with technical assistance to develop their nuclear program. All for domestic purposes, of course, because we know that that regime is on the up and up. They're straight shooters. They would never lie to the West. Death to America! Death to America! No. Forget about that. They're not going to cheat. They're not going to lie. Well, they have in the past. The past is the past. What did I say? Time to move forward. Not the past. Forward. Do they have the Confederate flag in Tehran? No. Okay, there. It's time to move forward. Not only a radical ideologue, but an incompetent moron. Quite frankly, the entire damn administration. That's just my opinion. And of course, our State Department reflecting the anti-Semitic president of the United States. That's right, I said it, and I'll keep saying it. There's the State Department under John D. Student Kerry, Times of Israel. The United States State Department backed away from controversial language included in the anti-BDS, that's boycott, divestment, and sanctions legislation, signed into a law by Obama a day earlier, indicating official discomfort with a clause that critics say intentionally blurs the lines between Israel and the West Bank. The Obama administration wants the government of Israel to fail, wants it to collapse. It supports, frankly, the boycott, divestment, and sanction effort in the Jew-hating capitals of the world. That's exactly what's going on. They want to strangle Israel's economy. You look at this when you see what else is going on in the Middle East. You look at this. When the Islamo-Nazis are on the march, slaughtering each other, slaughtering Christians, slaughtering anybody that gets in the way, including fellow Muslims. The most horrendous torture and death machine in modern times. And Obama and the State Department, this anti-Semitic Obama administration, look, folks, we have got to be truthful to ourselves and to each other. We have got to accept real words and real language that have meaning. We cannot be bullied anymore. We cannot be coerced. We cannot self-censor. We cannot do it. I don't care what liberal Jews say about Obama. I don't care what liberal columnists say about Obama. With my own eyes, my own ears, my own mind, I see an anti-Semite. I see it at the State Department. These are Israel haters. And what's driving them? What's motivating? It's the same people who are happy to sit down with the Muslim Brotherhood. It's the same people that will go to the ends of the earth to defend a maniacal murderer from the Muslim Brotherhood who took over Egypt. It's the same people who celebrate opening an embassy with a genocidal maniac in Cuba. Well, what else is going on here? I'm supposed to pretend otherwise? No.